If you or a child has head lice, here's how to treat it. The first treatment is something called wet combing. So the way to do this is to wet the hair and then put conditioner on the hair. But if you wet the hair, it must not be soaking wet. So towel dry the hair first so that it's damp and then put the conditioner on it. Otherwise, if you put conditioner on super wet hair, conditioner will just slide off. So you want the conditioner to help to separate the hair strands, which makes it easier to comb through the hair. And so when you comb through the hair, you want to use a head lice comb, which is a very fine tooth comb. And this means that the teeth are really close together on the comb. So this can help to pick out any head lice that's in the hair. When you are wet combing, make sure you start at the scalp and you comb through the hair from the scalp, section out the sections of the hair on the scalp. And this means that you are going through each section of hair in detail to try and comb out any head lice that might be in there. Now, once you've got out as much head lice as you can, you want to do this again in 7 days' time. And this will hopefully mean that you catch all of the head lice before they have matured into adults and will start to lay eggs again. So it's really important that you do the wet combing method at least 7 days later. And if you want to, you can do it again in another 7 days. So you've done the wet combing at least 3 times. The next thing you need to consider if you want to treat head lice and you found that the wet combing method has not worked is to use a chemical which can suffocate the head lice. So what this does is it reduces how many head lice are in the hair by essentially killing them off, by stopping them from breathing. So these medicines will usually contain ingredients like these. So they will contain dimethicone, isopropyl myristrate with cyclomethicone, and isopropyl alcohol. And you may want to consider putting this on dry hair. Then you leave it on usually for 8 hours. So always follow the instructions. And then you want to repeat this treatment again after 7 days. So remember, at 7 days, the head lice can mature into adults and then they will start to lay eggs. And so you repeat the cycle of having head lice in the hair, which you want to avoid. So again, you can do this treatment after 7 days again, and then you can do the treatment a third time as well to try and make sure that you've killed off all the head lice. Now, the third treatment contains insecticides. So insecticides will poison the head lice. Now, with insecticides, there are usually 2 ingredients that you may come across, and one is malathion, which is the one that you want, and the other one is permethrin, which is the one that usually might not work because there has been some resistance. So what that means is the head lice have figured out a way to stop the permethrin from actually killing them. So this means that permethrin might not work. Now, the thing is, when we use insecticides, whether that's malathion or permethrin, and we repeat the treatments, what might happen is the insecticide will become resistant even to the malathion. So you might find that if you try permethrin and it does not work, then you have to try malathion, and then that might work, and then you want to use it again 7 days later, and then suddenly it might not work. So if you find that you are using insecticides and they're not working to poison the head lice, then try to use the other ingredients which will suffocate the head lice instead. So that was the second treatment type I mentioned in this video. So again, if you're using insecticides, you want to repeat the treatment in 7 days because remember, the head lice will mature and then they will become adults and then they will start to lay eggs. And now the final thing you need to know when it comes to treating head lice is that you must treat everyone in the house with the person who has head lice. And this is because if you do not treat everyone, it could mean that the head lice will come back. So essentially, the person who has a head lice in the first place is going to spread it to other people. So those other people also need the treatment, even if it feels like they do not have any head lice at the moment. So make sure you treat everyone at home to try and get rid of it. Always speak to your doctor or pharmacist before you try any head lice treatment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.